let's talk about your childhood, man. What was that like? So I knew your dad a little bit. Very hands-on. It seemed like I can't imagine what kind of dad he might have been. Probably similar to mine. Not around to throw ball. Not taking you trick or treating. I'm not sure, right? But they seem similar in the sense that they were really married to their job.
I think right.
Right.
Absolutely. Tough guy.
Yeah.
There would be a lot of similarities with your dad. He gone on the weekends, so worked, came home, 6, 7 o'clock at night every night. So you're right. He that wasn't going to be my dad, but you knew he was there for you. But it's probably I thought about this interview because we haven't been that close through the years,
right.
and no particular reason,
Sure.
just because we were going in different directions. But we had a lot of similarities. Our dads were really good friends, and frankly, your dad was my dad's ally in NASCAR. He really was, and trusted him, liked him. It was one of those kind of relationships. And then they were this kind of similar guys on different sides of the sport, of course, but tough, fair. You knew where they stood. They're gonna lead. They're gonna move, and all that stuff. And so we had there was a lot of things that we had in common. Had we ever sat down and talked, we would have had a lot more in common than we thought we would have.
Yeah. So what was it like growing up? With him gone so much, where was your direction? What was motivating you?
It was cool. I have to say, I mean, we had some of my great memories. We had you don't know this when it's happening, right? You're a teenager, you're a kid, and you're growing up, and it's everybody came to Daytona in February or July, and we didn't think a lot of it at the time. But I'll tell you some really cool stuff. One, when Bo Derek and the movie 10 came out, Bo Derek's dad was the president of Kawasaki. And he came down in March and brought his family. So you can imagine, I'm a teenager. I'm going, what? Bo Derek's coming and we're going to go all have dinner with her? Well, she didn't actually come, but her sister came and her brother came, but it was fun. But we had like James Garner when he was hot, over for dinner. And again, I'm like thinking, well, this is kind of how everybody rolls, right? James Garner's coming in, and I'll bring my friends by, and it was that kind of thing. And but it was fun. But you don't know how special that is when it's happening, but you do when you get a chance to sit back and look at it now.
Yeah. Where did you go to school, and what were you into as a kid?
I was into a lot of stuff. I went to public schools in Daytona, UCF in Orlando. It was the traditional stuff.
Sports?
That was sports. I played a lot of stuff. Wasn't good at anything particular, but we played a lot. That was also when you could take off on your bike and be gone for the whole day.
Yeah.
You can't do anything like that now. So you could, ride all over Daytona and be gone all, just out and at 15 or 12 or 14, whatever it was. And, so those times have all changed and everything has changed. But it was fun growing up in Daytona.
Yeah. Your first job was a janitor at Talladega?
Yeah, I did everything you could do. And the reason that was the case was the way we had it set up was you're going to have opportunities. But my dad had a thing about performance. You're going to have to perform. And whatever you're doing, and you're not above anybody and you're not below anybody. And he was real clear about that. And he said, now, that said, you're going to get opportunities. And what you do with them, is what you do with them. But so whatever you're doing, you got to be good enough at it, whatever it is.
But did you go, Dad? What about why janitor though? I mean, like in there, like what is a janitor job at Talladega? It sounds
I actually picked up the track. I actually
Okay.
was, going.
Just on race weekend?
I did everything, and the reason I did it wasn't just because I was climbing. I wasn't climbing a ladder at 15 years old. It was to earn money. It was to earn money on the weekends, and my dad kept telling me, I'm doing okay, but you're broke. So I listened to him, and so I would newspaper job. I delivered newspaper, whatever it was. I was always doing something to earn money.
Yeah.
Nice.
What was your interest in racing? I mean, you're obviously your dad, your family, and all that. I mean, it's part of your life. But were you interested in it? Were you curious about following in the family business?
Yeah, I sure. And but it's also trying to match up where you can contribute. So and that was the cool part of, and still is the cool part of NASCAR, because you can make if and you also have to, if you're me, make contributions hopefully where other people aren't making them.
Yeah.
So there's some space. So if you run along, my dad was incredible on operations. He was incredible in the garage area, right? He was actually a great generalist. He was great in a lot of things, but he focused on that because he liked that. And so I had to focus on things I had an opportunity to do, happened to be the business side, happened to be bringing in revenue, growing the other thing that was always told and instilled in me is, hey, this is a big privilege, and it's not about me. When we own NASCAR, that's terrific. That's what a neat thing. But it's we're just custodians of this thing. We've got to make it bigger and better for everyone. That's the whole idea. How can you do that? Where would you fit in to make that kind of impact? If you can't, that's okay too. You can, because there was no pressure on me to do anything within the family business.
Yeah. If you like that conversation with Brian France, you can listen to the whole podcast because it's all available on every podcast platform.